summer. Ended up getting knocked out by the Danvers Nationals on the North Shore. A lot of teams. We'll talk a little bit more about how hard it is to make a real Williamsport run. It is very difficult, but needless to say, these guys had a great run, and we'll talk with them in just a little bit. Joppa Afternoons on Twitter, and don't forget you can watch the show on the Port Media YouTube stream too. I know a lot of you watch on the cable access. We do it live there. We do it live on the radio, but you can also really take it with you on YouTube and pull us up at any time and see the kind of the TV broadcast of it. So we'll do that. Make sure you do that as well. My name is Drew Moholland. Keep it here. We'll be right back. Joppa Radio.
My senses took in everything that's so when I heard the crickets sing. Come and dance to the cricket chorus. Come and dance and sing tonight. Come and dance to the cricket chorus. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. I didn't think my feet they knew to mommy's bed where I could hide. Listen, listen, she softly cried. Cricket chorus in the night, melodies so clear and bright. Peepers join in harmony and fireflies dancing in the breeze. Fireflies dancing in the breeze. A smile came across her face, a memory I'll not erase. We jumped out of bed and through the door to swing and dance on dew grass floor. Forever when the night is long, my thoughts return to that old song. Shadows round me begin to sway, and once again I can hear them say, come and dance to the cricket chorus. Come and dance and sing tonight. Come and dance to the cricket chorus. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. The jewel of the universe in all her myriad forms, there to delight and dismay in all of the wonders she holds. Just when I think I've found it out, it's revealed in one touch of her hand again. To shine like the sun on the wings of a bird as he soars in a crystal blue sky. My heart doesn't need any words to describe the joy that I feel inside. Let the waterfall take my tears into the wind, cast all my fears song of the wind in the trees fills my heart, and I know that if I listen well, I might take heed to the call of my dream. The day that's unfolding will tell. Flowers bloom and don't ask why. They're content to kiss the sky. They share with the stars up above, up above, up above. The jewel of the universe in all the myriad forms, there to delight and dismay in all of the wonder she holds. Just when I think I'm too far gone, I am healed with one touch of her hand again and again and again and again and
All right, welcome back to Afternoon Drive here on Joppa Radio. My name is Drew Moholland, and on a beautiful Tuesday afternoon, a little bit of an issue. The Amesbury Little Leaguers that I promised have, I don't know, they might be lost, but they're not here. Very interesting. But hopefully they are okay and maybe making their way. If not, we will carry on here because that is the nature of live radio. And nobody can tell you more about that than my producer here, Tyler Newfell, who's been watching me work the phones here and trying to see where the Amesbury Little Leaguers are. But how are you, Tyler?
Oh, I'm good. I'm yourself.
So these kind of things happen, I guess, huh?
Yeah, I mean we're used to things like this here. Hopefully they show up though. But
yeah, I know they have a game today, so probably some scrambling, and it has happened before that people get lost trying to find the building. But I always try to remember that hopefully everybody's doing okay. I don't think you oversleep at this time of day. Maybe you do. Afternoon nappers.
yeah, I mean it depends on how old they are. I mean if they're small kids, they probably take some naps, and if they're
11 and 12, these kids are the Williamsport kids. The unbelievable run. They did the District 15. They're in District 15, which is all sorts of teams. It goes all the way, I think, down towards up towards Beverly, down towards Beverly. I lived in that neck of the woods, so that's the perspective I'm talking in. But I used to be in that district too with Danvers, and they got beat by the Danvers Nationals, who are still playing Danvers Nationals to go to Williamsport. Do you ever play Little League?
I did. I played from what was it, like T-ball all the way up through senior league, senior
Majors or
senior league here. So it was what was it? Like 8 or 9 years.
8 or 9, yeah. That's the 11 and 12-year-olds. That's when you can make the Williamsport run. Mm-hmm. That is like you give up your whole summer if you actually go all the way, which is very hard to do. And actually, here I'll let you take this as you can step out, Tyler, and take that phone call. I believe that may be the Amesbury Little Leaguers, so I will keep rambling here for just a moment. But we are. It is a beautiful Tuesday afternoon, like I said here, and we're waiting on the Amesbury Little Leaguers, who made a great run this year in the District 15 tournament. So Tyler's nice enough to step in here as we kind of stall a little bit. But seriously, this is a crazy, crazy thing to make a run to Williamsport, Pennsylvania, which is the mecca of Little League. It's where they have all the big tournament games, and if you're doing this, folks, like, you have to understand what it's like. And hang on.
dial, maybe?
Oh, maybe. Well, Tyler couldn't get a hold of him. So, anyways, you can step back in here, Tyler. But if you're doing this, you do 2 practices per day during the summer, and they practice in this crazy heat. I'm actually reading the article from the Newburyport Daily News where the coach was saying how these kids go out there and every day they had perfect attendance for 2-a-day practices in what it was like crazy heat. So 11 and 12-year-olds, you really got to dedicate yourself. And
that's crazy.
Yeah,
2 a day,
double sessions.
How long is it, like a practice?
I don't know, like an hour and a half, 2 hours maybe. But yeah, we would usually go home, and there was usually no swimming rules when I played because he tires you out. Like if you're swimming, but you could, especially on game day, maybe not during practices. But if you could jump in the pool to cool off, but it was no volleyball in the pool, no relay races, all that stuff. So
that's a bit of a downer, but that's me. That's me.
It does seem like a lot. It's complete dedication. So you got to for the whole summer. If you're going to do Williamsport, I think wraps up in. I think the final game is like in a month. So if you're going all the way, you're literally going crazy 2-a-day sessions all that time.
And then you've got fall ball if you want to do that, and then you have.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these kids, but especially these are some of the best little leaguers. So, and they start earlier and earlier with all that year-round stuff. With the playing one sport specialization.
Yeah,
that makes it tough.
That's really tough.
I always played everything. I don't know about you, but
I did. What was it? I did soccer when I was a kid. I did baseball and I did basketball. I was not very good at soccer. I used to kick kids in the shin to get the ball.
Oh,
and then I learned you couldn't do that.
Oh,
so that was like 4 though. So
wow,
cut me some slack. And then I did baseball. I was okay at that, and then I got hit a lot with the ball, and I became very fearful of batting. So I got better at fielding though. So
that's good.
And then basketball, I was just never very good at shooting.
Never. Well, okay. So what was your main sport?
I did running. As I got into that in middle school, and then I did that in high school. And then I stopped because in college they wanted it. It was a practice every day, but it was 7 o'clock in the morning, 7 days a week. That's just too much for a college student.
Gotcha. Well, I have the answer here, Tyler. By the way, the coach has now texted me.
Awesome.
We did have an issue. I was right. He schedule mix-up. He thought it was tomorrow. So,
are they coming or are they not coming?
It's a little late. I think they're coming from Amesbury. So, we're not going to pay that off the Amesbury Little Leaguers today. They will have a game tomorrow. I wonder if it's worth it for me to. Maybe that might be the last game for them. Maybe I'll try to get them in here Thursday because I can tell the coach feels very bad about the miscommunication here.
That's okay. It happens.
Maybe we can do that. We'll be entertaining for now. You live around here. What's going on in town?
I'm not in town usually, so
you're usually out of town.
Well, I work, as you know, I work here, and then when I finish up work here, I go home and I go for a run, and then like on Thursdays or Fridays I go down to New York, and then I come back on Sundays.
Doing that 7-mile thing with the run still?
No, that wasn't me doing.
Oh yeah, those.
God, I do 2.5.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, you know what's funny about this too. This is you're filling a role that my old hockey partner Gary Langley did for me one night. At the old station WNBP, which I think you probably remember.
Yeah, it was over by like the tannery, right?
Yeah, there's yes, yep, and there's a lot of there's actually some crossover here now. A lot of the people here have been picked up by Sarah Hayden here at Joppa, but there was a you know how I used to call the hockey games for Newburyport hockey. Did you know that, or is that a fun fact? You didn't know that? Oh, good for you. Yeah. Well, there you go. Newburyport Clippers hockey. Yeah, several years we did all the hockey games, the play-by-play, which was a blast, and Coach Paul Gamine and those guys. But there was very first game. I had not been on the radio since college. I took like 2 years off of being on the air. Was doing all behind the scenes stuff. So the very first game, and I'm like, all right, this is exciting. We'll get back into it. Hockey game, yeah, very good, very good. And the Zamboni broke down at the old Graf rink. True story. Zamboni broke down. There's a delay, 7 o'clock start, nothing, 7:15, 7:30. Warm-ups, kids go back off the ice into the locker room. So I said, Gary, go figure out what's going on, because, you know, we're up there all removed, and my partner, Gary Langlace, ran down behind the thing, doing his investigative reporting, and he comes back and he says, big issue, Drew, big issue. The Zamboni is broken. They're trying to bring in a backup Zamboni from another location. So that they did not start that game, honest to God, until like 9 o'clock at night.
God.
So we did 2 hours, and this is not like where you can go back to the studio and do go back to the pregame show and let them stall for a while. We were up there for 2 hours.
Just talking.
First time on the radio in like 2 years, just making stuff up for 2 hours, which was a pretty good test. The bosses over there, I remember Pete Falcone, who's a great guy, is texting me going, "I cannot believe this is happening. Good job, keep going," and yeah, so those things happen in live radio.
Yeah, that's a crazy thing. So what did they do with this? Like the old Zamboni? Did they have to push it off?
That's a good question. I don't know where you go to get a backup Zamboni in a crunch. I think they may have had to, and maybe
one in storage or something.
Yeah, one in storage, but that probably tells you that maybe they had issues before. But yeah, I don't know. It wasn't good. There were several issues on the ice hockey rink though. The graph's kind of an old building, so
yeah, I've been there like once or twice.
Yeah,
and that was a while ago, and I don't think they've done any reservations.
Yeah, they don't let you renovations. Yeah, they don't let you even call the games from the little crow's nest anymore. I think it was deemed unsafe after many years of us doing the games up there. So
yeah, that seems like the thing with Newburyport Sports is like you use an unsafe facility for a long time, and then eventually like it's unsafe, and then another 10-15 years goes by, and then they fix it
for really good teams too.
It takes the teams to be really good for them to be like, we'll invest.
Yeah, and well, the hockey team is good for many. That rink is actually it's a cool rink to play in because you get very good atmosphere. It's small, it's loud, it's a good home ice advantage. But yeah, it's not the best of places, and it's freezing. It's cold.
So cold.
Yeah, like every time. Right now, I guarantee you, it's 110. You'll probably like go to your car and go get a sweatshirt. That would be my guess. It's still freezing even in the summer.
So, is there with like an ice rink? Is there a home field advantage with the ice itself, or like different like textures?
Usually, not too much. Usually, they're all standard. However, Newburyport is a little bit different because like all the players will tell you like they have very like live boards behind the nets. So if you take a slap shot and you miss the net, it's the boards like really ricochet. So they would use that to their advantage. You throw the puck in, the thing's going to bounce off the boards live, and other teams might get too close to it and get up on it and can force a turnover that way. So yeah, Newburyport was weird. Actually, another one I remember, Ken Hodge, the poor goalie. I don't know if you remember him. He was in one day. He was like the star goalie for the Clippers. And
sounds familiar.
Yes, good-looking guy, and he's all over like the perfect student and everything. The coach was telling me that they had this goalie who was very smart in the classroom, and we've never had a goalie who was very smart in the class. He was very concerned. It's like usually the goalies kind of tick a little bit differently, but yeah, good kid, smart. And he was telling. I saw him struggling one night, and he's like reaching to his skate after a save, and like he's like kind of waving his hands like something's going on. And that story was that the ice had actually probably melted is the wrong term, but they had cut through the ice and gone to the concrete. So there was a space of concrete
that
showing.
On.
Yeah, so he just his skate kept getting stuck. So I know the assistant coaches I think came out and they were trying to fix it, and I think that's the best we can do. 5 minutes left in the game. You think you can finish? I think we might have to forfeit if you don't. So he did. He toughed it out, and I think Newburyport got the win that night. But
holy crap,
crazy, yeah. So
how do you try to fix that? Do you just pour water?
Yes, I think that's about it. There's some you see like the people who know what they're doing. They pour water. They rub some stuff on it. I don't know. More water. It seems like a lot of water.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, it is. God. So those things will happen, but I don't know. It's fun talking ice hockey stories here in the middle of the summer, which is very funny. Yeah, you a Red Sox fan?
I mean, more for
just
regional.
from living here. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I saw a game recently with my dad. It was the first time I've been there in like a decade.
You like going in there?
Yeah, it was nice, but I should have known. We got the grandstands, I think.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, and we got it was like cheap. I was like, it's like $37 a ticket, and we get there
behind a pole. Tell me.
Behind the pole. Yeah. Behind the pole.
Behind the pole at Fenway.
That's when I first went there with my dad. It was like 4 or 6.
That'll happen. Did the ticket say obstructed view?
It didn't. It did not say obstructed view.
Well, maybe they're very tricky at Fenway. Not like intentionally tricky, but to be obstructed, it has to be like actually obstructing like a huge portion of your vision.
It was. I mean, mine. I got a bit luckier with mine. I couldn't see the outfield. My dad couldn't see the game.
Okay.
Luckily, what happened was
you couldn't see the outfield. Your dad couldn't see the game. All right. So were you on the first base side or the third base side?
We were on the first base side.
First base side, okay. I can picture that seat.
Yeah, and luckily 2 people didn't show up, and the entire row moved down for us. They were very polite. They said, would you like, to see the game? We said we would like to see the game, and so they got up. We moved down. So it worked out well, but
that was an actual question uttered at Fenway. Would you like to see the game?
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. We didn't ask them; they just asked us. But yeah, the first time I went there, the same thing happened, except no one moved. So.
Yeah, I mentioned at the beginning of the show the Red Sox are in Baltimore tonight. Every single summer, probably 6 of the last 8 summers, I have done the Baltimore trip. Very popular one. Oh, it's great. Half that crowd is Red Sox fans, actually.
Oh.
Baltimore is not too good, and it's just an easy trip. You fly down for like $50. Hopefully, it's like a half-hour flight. Sometimes it costs $50 to park in Boston. Yeah,
for a $50 flight.
It's usually cheap. Not always, but you can find, if you book it ahead of time. I remember Southwest always gave great deals, and but it's a great spot, and it's a beautiful, beautiful ballpark. So if you ever get the chance to do it, like, you don't have any of those obstructed views that you were just talking about at Fenway Park. None. Not one seat in there is obstructed.
Is there a stadium a lot newer? Because like Fenway, another weird thing is like you take the seats, right?
Yep.
And home plate's over here, and you're facing. Like
yes, that's like
towards,
in right field, especially.
Yeah,
yeah, you're looking at the center fielder.
Yeah,
yeah. Is there? Would you ask? Is there a stadium like that?
No. Is Baltimore? Is it more?
Yeah,
focused?
it's all it's built with a purpose. So you could be in those same. You could be right next to the right field pole, up a little bit. Mm-hmm. You feel like you're right on top of the action in Baltimore. Okay. Completely different.
Well, that's good.
So yeah, it's built well. However, I still like Fenway Park.
Yeah,
I said at the beginning of the show, I'd like to be able to bring my kids there. I'm happy I'll be able to do that. I don't know. Not enough antique places left,
No.
Historic.
No, they tore down. When did they tear down Yankee Stadium? Was that?
Ooh, that's probably.
Is that mid 2000s, or is that?
I was gonna say it's probably pushing 10 years now. Is it that long? Not sure. I'd have to look it up. We'll do some research during the break. I think it's about 10 years ago. But that's a good example, though. They kind of lost the charm of the old Yankee Stadium.
I haven't been to the new one yet.
Yeah,
I've been to Citi Field.
The Mets, yes.
Yeah.
A lot of open seats there, right?
A lot of open seats there.
They are a very bad team. I don't know what
fun though, but
they are. Yes, well, they have a great fan base too.
They do.
They demand more of their team. The Mets do. I just saw they had a trade that they're out of it now, so they're giving up a lot of their talent and hoping to get prospects back. And I saw that the last trade they made was to give up one of their star relievers, and fans didn't think they got enough back for him, so they're not happy about that. And then I just saw their star pitcher just went down with hand, foot, and mouth disease, which is like, you can't catch a break, really.
No.
What? Hand, foot, and mouth disease, really?
I've had that before, actually.
Have you?
Yeah.
What is that exactly?
It's
Don't be too gruesome.
I won't be too gruesome.
Is it gross? I don't even know.
It's gross. It's very gross. So the way I got it was I used to do like a summer camp when I was like 13, and I was a counselor for like 8-year-olds, and kids don't wash their hands a lot.
Yeah.
And so that's what happens is like they pick it up from like touching gross things and not washing it, and then they eat, and it can manifest in different ways if I'm remembering it correctly. But I got like a crazy like fever, and I got like stomach aches and stuff, and then my mom got it from me.
Oh no.
And then she
badly contagious.
Yeah, and then my sister got it, and I forget if it was because we also had the swine flu, and it was either from the swine flu.
You guys had the swine flu?
Yeah, we had the swine flu.
Wow, I don't think I've ever known anybody who actually got that thing.
It sucks. But
Wow.
I forget. I keep getting them confused. I forget if it was hand, foot, and mouth disease or the swine flu that my mother developed like fluid around her heart.
Oh man.
I forget which one it was.
That's
either way,
scary.
not good.
Yeah.
But it went away.
Yikes.
But either way, you don't want either.
Was that like close in time period? That would be stressful.
Yeah, they were. So 2009 was swine flu.
Doctors were like, you guys are a real problem household.
Yeah. Oh my God. Like the only person in my household that doesn't get sick is my dad.
Yikes.
Yeah, but when he gets sick, it's a problem. Like he has 2 fake hips. Bionic man.
Wow.
But yeah, no, it worked out though.
Hopefully you got the durability genes.
Hopefully. Oh my God.
You guys may remember we kind of did the behind the scene show last week, and summertime does get slow. We weren't supposed to do a behind the scenes show again today, but I have been in contact now. Just so if you're wondering, you probably were wondering. Hopefully they are okay. But the Amesbury Little Leaguers who were supposed to be on the show today, miscommunication. They have a game tomorrow, actually. So we were off from the start on the communication thing. So it's a miscommunication. The coach thought he was bringing the guys tomorrow. We actually don't have a show tomorrow, so that would not have worked. Nope. But I did offer to these guys to come on Thursday because I feel bad. I think he told a bunch of his kids that they were going to be on the radio and on TV. So we will try not to strip that experience from them. Hopefully they can do it Thursday. I am in communication with them. He said they just a miscommunication. Everybody is fine. You're always kind of worried when somebody does not show up for something. I've learned that you get angry about somebody for missing something, but don't get too angry because you never know what happened.
Yeah, no, that's a good way to keep it.
We haven't, I don't think we've had too much of that, though. It's funny because with an hour show, things can happen, and we've been pretty lucky on that front as far as people kind of bailing on us, even though this is unintentional. But
no. This just has been miscommunication. I think the worst we've had that I've seen is just David's forgot to hit record.
Oh, that's
the worst one.
That wasn't great.
No.
Yes, geez, Dave, I was not going to throw you under the bus on that one, but there's things gonna. It's there's a lot of things going to happen here. Yes, there was one day we didn't. If you didn't catch the live show, you weren't going to hear or see any of it because there was no copy of any of it.
You salvaged it though.
Well, it went over the radio live, right? It was the TV that was the problem?
Oh, I think it was. I forget if it was a twofold. If it was we forgot to record it, and then we also forgot to have the audio on.
Oh,
I think I think it was that. I think your intro was cut, and then we recorded everything else, but the first half before the break didn't have any audio. But then you salvaged it. You kind of started over.
Oh yeah, I do remember that. I think wasn't that different shows though. I think those two problems are two different shows. I think.
I don't remember.
We can do it. We can have a problem on any given show. And Tyler gets to see all of it. He does unfortunately, he's the guy that I throw the phone to when that guy's probably taking a nap or something. The coach has.
I think it was the same number. I think he butt dialed.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Well, now he's in communication, texting wise. So I look forward to meeting him. I hope we get to do it Thursday. I'll figure this out afterwards. But Coach Craig. I'm going to go with Genualdo
sounds
GEN.
GEN.
UA.
Genu.
LDO.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Genualdo. Craig Genualdo. So seems like a good guy. Hopefully we get them on Thursday because I would like to see the Amesbury Little Leaguers in the house. It'd be fun.
So if they win tomorrow, they go on, and if they
no, see that's the thing. They did get knocked out. Okay. This is different from when I played. What he's talking about today with this, they got knocked out of Williamsport. So Danvers goes on.
Okay,
they're the team that has the chance of being on ESPN in a few weeks and all that stuff. I don't know what this is. This is a new thing. I think they probably do like just a wrap up the year tournament. Maybe it's some of the teams that finished second and third, and
So it's not just like one more game, or it is.
I don't know. It was gonna be my first. It was gonna be my first question. What is this? What are these next games once you're knocked out? So we'll figure that out. But and I have the. I was looking at the lovely Newburyport Daily News article here, and it actually doesn't get into that. So I think it's just a way to maybe wrap up the season and give the kids one more game after the heartbreak of getting knocked out of the Williamsport tournament. But
happens.
Daily News they still do a good job, by the way. I was reading this article and a lot of them, and I don't know who wrote this one. Let me see. I think it was Max Cirillo, who we've had on the show here before, but they really do. Those local newspapers are. I read another thing about how you see the Daily News, New York Daily News. They're laying off half their staff,
including like their editor, right, or something.
Yeah, like their editor, but I mean half the staff is the big number. Editors get laid off.
Okay.
Well, I'm an editor, so that's why I joke about that. Just kidding, guys. But the half the staff, 50%, and they want to just stop with the in-depth reporting and be more of a headline service and breaking news and yeah.
I don't think it's gonna work well.
We don't like it. It's bad. They say, like, when you talk about investigative reporting, like, most of the TV news that you watch or, I guess even radio to a point, but most of, like, the TV news, you turn it on today at 4 or 5 or 11, whenever you're watching your news, so many of those stories began with the newspaper article of somebody going out there and doing the work and putting in the time. Because newspaper, that is the one benefit they have. They don't have to be in real time.
No.
You can go and give time to a story and work on it for days and come back and have a nicely written article. So it's some good investigative reporting, and that's like where the majority of investigative reporting comes from, is the newspapers. So many times you hear, the Boston Globe actually did a great commercial last year, and I thought it was very effective, where they took all the cuts of all the local news stations, all the anchors up there, crediting the Globe, and just like 5-second clips of Globe. The Boston Globe says, Boston Globe reports, and I thought it was very effective. They're just trying to show how much of this breaking news they actually generated in the city. So very effective.
That's good. Aren't they owned by
John Henry?
Yeah.
Yes. Most, yes. He no conflict of interest I've seen to this point, though.
That's good.
I think they've done a good job about that. And his wife, Linda, I think. Linda starts with a P. But is kind of she's kind of the manager in control of it. So they've had some issues, too, with like that Me Too movement. They had the editor there who was sending a text to a writer, and then that got all weird because they had dated before, and that's never good. So they had that scandal. They have another guy, Kevin Cullen, who's one of their big-time writers, and they found him to exaggerate some stories specifically about the Boston Marathon, but other stuff. So yeah, that he hasn't been seen for a little while, which is kind of strange because he was a front page guy for many years. So we'll see if he comes back. I think it was just a temporary suspension, but I don't know. Never good.
No, not good. Was that about the Boston Marathon, like the?
Yeah, just making it seem like it's a good lesson for kids. Actually, if you're taking up the journalism thing, he was kind of making it seem like, it seems obvious, but I guess it's easy enough to do. And the Globe referred to it as he was in the fog of war, I think. So it's the whole city felt it, but he made it appear that he was actually at the Boston Marathon finish line. I remember reading the article. I'm a big, I think I still am, but I was a big Kevin Cullen fan. I used to really love his writing. I thought it was it was good, attention getting, and I read the one that started it all. I read as well, and I thought he was at the marathon finish line, and it turned out he wasn't. So a little bit misleading at best, but I don't know. The point is, newspapers, I don't think they're dying. They break too much.
No, they're good.
You a big newspaper guy? Kids your age do newspapers?
A good amount of my friends actually read the newspaper a lot.
Online, though, or hard copy?
It's a mix.
Yeah.
At school, we got free copies of the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, and I think that was it.
Free copies, though.
Yeah, it was really good.
But like just like the coffee shop, or?
No, every dorm would have free copies. Every academic building. I don't think they actually had them in the coffee shop.
Really?
Interestingly enough. But they would be in the same building, so you just walk over, grab it.
Just take it for free.
Yeah.
It's a good public service there by a college. I like that.
Really
good
nice.
job, Fordham.
Yeah, they did well. Thanks, Fordham.
I'm impressed by that.
They did that, and you could also get a online subscription to some of the other, or you could do it to the New York Times if you want on your phone.
Yeah.
It was like $1 a month as a student.
Student discount?
Yeah.
It's funny because if you actually do the phone thing, a lot of the newspaper stories that you're in, this is another little fun fact.
They don't appear.
They do hide. They save some for hard copy.
Okay.
Which is
Interesting.
They eventually all make it online, but if you want it like in the moment,
you gotta.
They got a big front page story. It will be held a lot for the hard copy. Even if it's not a front page, they'll do it a lot if it's an interesting one. So incentive to always get the hard copy, I think. Even when I have full access to something, I feel like I'm missing something if I don't get my hands on the actual thing, Flip through the pages. I'm a hard copy guy anyway, but
It's nice. I mean, I do enjoy having it on my phone as well because it is convenient, and sometimes I don't know where to get the paper.
It certainly is. Not hating on the phone thing.
No, it's useful. And it does give me the colorful little notification that I have a new story to read, but it does feel kind of forced. Like, this is what I'll read it if I get a notification.
Yeah.
Other times I'm less apt to go just look at the app on my own. And
you said you don't really do the Twitter thing, right?
I deleted my Twitter recently.
You deleted the Twitter recently.
Deleted my Twitter.
Is this the way we're going? I feel like, you're slightly older than a lot of the high school. Well, not slightly. You're kind of in the middle of the high school age group that we talked to and me.
Yeah.
And it seems as though the high school kids I talk to, nobody has Twitter.
Yeah.
Strange.
I don't know.
Somebody said it's a Newburyport thing, actually, which was an interesting answer. They're like, it seems like a lot of the friends from other communities have it, but here in Newburyport, none of my friends do. It's weird.
Yeah, a lot of...
Don't know how to explain that.
I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm blanking. When I went to school, though, and I met a lot of people there, because, well, here, it was like half and half. Kids had Twitter, kids didn't have Twitter.
Yeah.
I made one in high school, and I didn't really use it that much.
Yep.
And then I went to college, and more people used it, but it still wasn't as...
Yeah. It wasn't Facebook?
Yeah, it wasn't Facebook. So the way I've seen it is, if you're using Twitter, usually you're following other like organizations or, you know, known names.
Yeah.
You do follow your friends, but it's not as big.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, with Facebook, and Facebook is not even like, kids only use it for groups really now.
Is that going away too? Huh.
Yeah, I mean,
adults are on Facebook a lot more.
I think that's the big thing. Maybe
Mom and dad are on Facebook a lot more.
I think that was a big thing because I remember being in middle school and being in like early high school, and even then it was kind of dying. But it was like, oh, like my parents got a Facebook, and people were like, I don't want to use that anymore.
Yeah.
And so a lot of kids use Instagram now. I have an Instagram.
I hear it's all Instagram. My wife uses Insta.
Insta.
Yeah.
But Facebook owns Instagram, so.
Oh yeah. They're doing fine, is what you're saying.
They're fine.
Don't feel bad for Mark
Don't feel
Zuckerberg.
bad for Facebook at all.
And what's the other one? Snapchat? Is that
Snapchat? Yeah, I don't know where Snapchat stands anymore because I got a Snapchat in high school. I still have it. I still use it, but I don't use it as much as I did.
That kind of changed too, didn't it? Like Snapchat, and maybe fundamentally it didn't, but it was around when I was in high school even, and it was always like the one picture alive for 5 seconds and then it dies.
Yeah, it was like you could change so when it started off, what was it? You could send it, I think, up to 10 seconds, or you could do like 1 through 10, and it was just pictures, and you could just do like a little bit of text and maybe a little drawing.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they introduced 10-second videos, and then they did stories, which is you can take. So instead of just sending it on Snapchat for people who don't know, I don't know how many people.
Yeah,
maybe some people don't know.
It's good to clarify.
So Snapchat, you can just take a photo and you can send it to someone. Or
my dad's saying right now, "What are you talking about?" What?
It's like a form of social media,
Yeah.
but it's private and it's supposed to be temporary.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to delete. I think they keep everything though.
Yeah, I know there was a lot of talk about that.
Yeah. But anyways, so you send it and then it deletes. But you can also do a thing called a story where you take a photo or video or whatever and you can send it to your story, and it holds it for 24 hours, and anyone can view it as many times as they want for 24 hours.
Yep.
And then you can now do Snapchat groups, which has been around for a couple of years. I think it's up to 32 people, and you can do the same thing. You can message inside the group. You can save things now, which is interesting.
Gotcha. All right. Well, that's a good little lesson for me. I guess I do Facebook and Twitter. Those are my two. So I guess I'm the way it stands currently. I guess I'm working with the two dying breeds. But
well, I don't think Twitter's dying. I just think it's a different platform.
Sometimes it feels like, I work in the WBZ newsroom in Boston. So sometimes I feel like it's a lot of news people trying to tweet out the break on a story before the other person or whatever. Try to put it out there first. Sometimes it feels like a lot of news people talking to other news people.
Yeah, I think it's more. I think it's become more official and stuff, but it does serve a purpose that I don't think is fulfilled on Facebook or Instagram in the same way.
That kind of real time.
Yeah, because it's like
whatever.
You can only have 140 characters, maybe, and some people have 280, I think.
Yeah, if you're, I forget how they did those rules, but yeah, like I know my personal account is 140, but the official WBZ account is double that. So I don't know how they did that, but it seems like 140 seemed to be a good thing for them. Tell me what I need to know in a brief.
It's like a quick headline, a blurb kind of thing, just quick thought.
It probably gets back to the daily news thing of where they want to go. People are so just give it to me quickly and move on with my life,
Yeah, you can even see it in a little bit different, but like in a lot of comedy as well. It's a lot of very quick, short things, which I enjoy.
Did you say comedy? You a big comedy guy?
Yeah, I love comedy.
Yeah. So you're finding shorter jokes these days. That's very interesting.
Well, not shorter jokes. I mean, I can't believe I'm talking about this, but like you'll see like a meme, and
this is what happens when you're when you're thrown on the radio at the last second. It's a free, not free falling, but to sing Tom Petty, freestyle show. Sorry, what were you saying?
I'm going to talk about memes. Oh my god. Yeah, you'll see like. You'll watch like a short video, like a comedy video in itself, and then people will condense it down even further to the quick little bites. For example, I don't know if you know Tim and Eric.
I don't. Is that bad?
Yeah, it's fine. They're kind of weird. So and some of it's a bit gross. So
okay.
Careful. But anyways, though, they have a whole bit where it's maybe like a minute, 2 minutes long.
Yep. And
it's supposed to be a commercial for a guy saying, "We bought you a free house. It's a free house. Take it." And at the end, there's a a bit where one of the guys leans over and he goes, "It's free real estate." And people have just taken that, and that's like a whole little meme. But the whole thing is like 2 minutes long, and so and it's just like quick things, quick
Gotcha.
satisfaction. Nothing wrong with it, but
No. Well, did you get out to like actual comedy shows a lot? Is that something you do, or because you're a musician too, so you're like
Yeah.
you're like a night owl.
yeah.
Are all musicians night owls? Pretty much, yes, right?
My bassist isn't. He goes to bed at midnight.
Is that creating a problem? Well,
No, it works.
Well, isn't that kind of a night owl, or is that too early? You're saying that he goes to bed
I don't know.
too
Maybe. Maybe. Yeah. I don't know what early is anymore.
early. Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm all messed up on that front too. But so when you guys do a lot of shows. I mean, you probably do some like weird daytime gigs or whatever
Yeah,
too.
we've done some really weird things. It wasn't a daytime show, but the weirdest one we've done, I think, was we went to a diner in, I'd call it upstate New York. The DMV calls it upstate. Anything that isn't in the city and isn't on Long Island is upstate. So we're going to clarify that.
It's like Mayor Menino. He once said, sorry to divert you here, but he once said, he was all Boston. So he said, you go out to like Western Mass, anything like west of like Newton.
Yep.
And everybody was like, wait, what? West of Newton? What are you talking about? Like, there's a lot of state west of Newton.
Yep, there's a lot. It's pretty deep.
A great Mayor Meninoism, but anyways, carry on.
Anyways, so the weirdest show we did was in, I forget the name of it. It was like 40 minutes north of the city.
Yeah.
So not that far out. And we were in this little diner. And, oh, God, the singer in my band was like, "Oh, I got the show for us.
Great gig.
Great gig. There's a guy there. He can maybe help us get like a record deal." And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh, wow, this is crazy."
Yeah.
And we show up there, and it's this tiny little like diner, and they cut off like the whole left side of it where like people eat, and then there's the right side where there's still booths.
Yep.
People are still dining, and there's a little stage. And it was like the saddest crowd I've ever seen. And
You guys are kind of upbeat too, right? You're like,
yeah, well, we were like
gonna plug in and go.
Yeah, I mean, all the musicians that played were like, I thought they were pretty good, but it was just the atmosphere and the setting and the people, like the crowd wasn't responsive. And someone got up there and they were singer-songwriter, and they brought their friends and they brought their parents, and there were there was some applause, and it was it's kind of quiet, so it was fine. But then another band got up there, and they were like a punk band. And they're giving it 100%.
Yeah.
They're jumping around, and everyone's just sitting there like eating their dinner, and they gave free popcorn. And the weirdest thing was there was a tiny little bar that's about the size of like this table right here.
Yeah.
And they had a tap, but they had 2 beers on tap. They had Guinness, and they had, I think, Brooklyn Lager. That was it. And you go up, and there's this old man with like red suspenders, like a white button down, and like black pants and huge bifocals. And we asked him like, I'd like a Brooklyn Lager. And he's like, okay, like I'll get you Brooklyn Lager. And he goes to pour it, and it is the slowest pouring beer I've ever seen in my life. And he's like, yeah, I don't know, there's no pressure on it.
Yeah.
And then it was cold. It wasn't cold, it was warm. And
It's
then
like a legit diner. Did they just bring beer in for the show?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then my other friend got a Guinness, and it was just like all foam. It was the weirdest
Something
thing.
tells me they were just bringing it in for the night.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's an interesting one. Have some people having French toast and watching the band at night.
Yeah, they were just like eating eggs, and they would give us popcorn, and it was stale popcorn with like paprika on it.
What New York town was that?
I don't remember.
Yeah, it wasn't memorable barely.
I mean, it was a show, and I think we got $8 a piece.
never turned down a paying gig, right?
I don't know. Maybe not on that one.
Probably cost you more to get there.
Yeah.
Is that the strangest show story you have as far as playing in front of a crowd?
That's like the most disheartening one.
Disheartening. That one depressed the band for a while.
Yeah, we're like, oh god.
Yeah.
I think the second one for disheartening was we played a someone's house like around campus, and there was another local band played before us, and they had like 50 people show up, which for like a basement's a lot. And then we got up there, and we didn't plan it well, and it was 8 people at the lowest, and it was like 4 of our friends and then the people that lived there, and they couldn't leave. But it worked out well because right before like it was down to 8 people, one of this girl that worked at the, do you know the Rival? It's like a student organization.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, they have like branches around campuses. And it was like one of the editors at the Fordham branch of the Rival was like, oh, we're doing a launch event and like a hurricane relief kind of party, and we're taking like it'll be a donation.
Is that from Sandy or?
No, that was from was like Irma and.
Oh, okay. So more recent, yeah.
Yeah, it was
okay.
last.
Oh, okay.
Fall.
Gotcha.
She's like, oh, we'd love to have you guys come play, and there'll be a DJ after you. I'm like, okay, well, whatever. Like, it'd be more than 8 people.
So she liked you guys.
She was very nice, and I ended up joining the Rival. For
No kidding.
A semester. Yeah.
Wow, excellent.
I didn't do too much though, but
that's good.
I joined it. And anyways, we went to the event, and we're like, oh, it's a nice backyard.
Yeah.
It'll be fun. And it was a $5 donation for, the hurricane victims. You can give more if you wanted, but $5, and they ended up raising like, I think it was over 2,500.
Wow.
And the cops came after we played, and
It's always a good show, right?
there was over 500 people there.
Wow.
It was crazy, and it was a backyard, and they had like a rock that you could go up.
Yep.
And then like a level where people threw trash from the apartments above.
Yeah.
And you could climb up another story, and then if you were really like crafting, you had someone boost you up, you could climb up into someone's like deck. And when the cops showed up, there was just people pouring down. It was crazy.
There's some fire code violations there, maybe?
Oh my god! But this is the best show we've ever had. So
Wow. That's
thank you,
great.
Fordham Rival.
There you go. The what is it tough? I mean, it's probably you guys are probably learning how to be all professional in that regard, so maybe it doesn't bother you. But is it tough when you got 12 people? It's just a dull crowd.
Yeah.
How do you get yourself mentally to play for a small crowd that's not? I don't know. They're forced to be there or whatever.
Yeah. The biggest thing is just kind of, even if it's 12 people that showed up, so you're going to play for them,
Yeah.
you won't necessarily, you also have to read the kind of vibe. Like,
Yeah.
you don't want to be dancing around and like squirming on the floor.
Yeah.
12 or 8 people, because that's not, but the energy's not going to translate well for maybe like 12 people. But, you want to play well, perform well, give them a good show.
Yeah.
Don't skimp them, because they came out.
Yeah. It's like the Joe DiMaggio line. Joe DiMaggio. I read it yesterday because a New York Yankee got in trouble last night for not hustling during a play. Yeah, a professional ball player didn't run a ball out to end the game, and in a close game. And I remember Joe DiMaggio's line. What was it? It was I'll probably get the quote somewhat wrong, but it was
Paraphrase it.
Why do you go all out every night? Aren't there some nights where you just want to take a line and take a night off or something? And that was the question from the reporter.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, well, you go all out every night because there's probably somebody in that crowd who is watching you for the first time. And
Yeah.
maybe the last time. So, and I was like, it was something along those lines. I'm sure I got it a little bit wrong, but I always loved that Joe DiMaggio quote. So I think every professional ball player should probably put that one on the on the wall somewhere.
If you're going out and you're putting yourself in front of people and they paid to see you or they made an effort to come see you, you should give them a show.
Yeah, you want to be at your best. Well, there you go. That's good. It's a very very professional answer from you there. So, any gigs? I know you guys are practicing in New York a lot.
Yeah, so we've been practicing for a while, but we actually have gigs now,
Oh,
which is nice.
Anything
So-
local, or are you bringing anybody this way?
I'm trying. You've got to
You're sick of driving? Yeah.
I stopped. So I drove down once this summer, and I wasn't happening.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to do it again. So now I take the bus, and I don't know if I'm not going to say it because I don't know if I can say what word I can use, but
Yeah.
heck.
Yeah. You're fine.
Okay. Well, anyways,
we get the point.
you get the point. So on Friday, I went down, and my friend lives in West Nyack, so
Yep.
it's over the Tappan Zee Bridge. So I left my house at 9:15 to catch the commuter rail. Got into Boston, walked over to South Station, got on the bus, got some food real quick. It was barbecue chicken. It was great.
Good to know. Thank you.
And then I went over to
Hungry now. Yep.
I'm very hungry too. Went over to Grand Central, went north to Terrytown, had to wait for my friend to get through traffic, pick me and my other friend up. Then we had to go pick my other friend up in New Jersey, like right over the border, because it's like right there. And then we went to his house, and it took over 11 hours.
Wow.
It's awful.
That's a long day.
Mm-hmm.
That's a long day. It is. Sometimes traffic can kill you too. I mean, I did a bachelor party in Atlantic City.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not kidding you. I it was, I think, 12 hours there. Traffic, we left at like the worst possible time ever. We had planned it better, but you really do need to plan if you're going to make those long trips to even New York. Just, it can be, you can double, triple your time if there's traffic the whole way. We left at like noontime Boston. We're already traffic in Boston on a Friday, and that puts you like right in the city at like the heart of rush hour.
Heart of rush hour
in New York City.
It's awful.
Like 12 hours. I remember we left by noontime from Atlantic City. Left by noontime in the car. 5 of us we needed 2 weeks off from seeing each other. We left by noontime. The Celtics were playing an 8 o'clock game. That night, playoff game. But just whatever, it was a playoff game. I just remember we were all basketball guys, so hopefully we were getting home in time to see it. We missed the whole game. We were on the road. And then, insult to injury, my buddy lived near the Garden. And he goes, after driving back through traffic the whole way back, he hit Celtics traffic down the street from his house. It was like, this is unbelievable.
Like leaving
the game, yeah.
Oh,
it was
God.
unbelievable. It was that, which I thought was, we cracked up about that part. But yeah, it can be a long ride. I don't know. It's probably worth flying sometimes, but.
Yeah. Well, depending on where you're going to, like if you fly.
Atlantic City, I guess, has like an airport like right there.
Oh, they do.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think it's probably made for the hardcore gambler.
Probably.
You know,
I've only been once.
Atlantic City. Yeah, me too. That was my first time there. It was just like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
It's actually, I mean, it's fun.
It's an interesting place. I was there for.
Gets a bad rap probably.
Yeah. I mean, we also stayed on like, you know, the road in. It's through the marsh.
Yeah.
There's like one hotel in the marsh.
Oh yeah.
That's where we stayed.
Yeah. I think there's 2 now.
Oh, there's 2. Okay.
Yeah, I think because you do notice it. They're like, all right, so that's the other hotel apparently.
There's the discount hotel.
Yeah, the discount hotel. That's right.
Yeah.
Or maybe no. You know, maybe you're right. Maybe there is one.
No, there could be more than one. I don't remember, but
it's noticeable.
A noticeable stretch.
Yeah.
There's one that's farther out if there's another one.
Yeah.
We were very far away.
Yeah, we had fun though. We were gonna have fun no matter what. It was, bachelor parties at Atlantic City. It's I would say they're tough to screw up, although you could probably screw them up pretty bad.
Oh yeah,
That's
probably
fun.
could. But
yeah,
you just mind yourself, and it'll work out.
Any of you guys? How old are you right now?
I'm 22.
22. You don't have anybody close to getting married at 22, do you?
That's my knowledge.
Not to your knowledge, yeah.
Yeah, I hope not.
Different day and age. We were talking about this before. Randomly with my cousin, just because we were just talking about how it's been less than 2 years for me, and I was like, yeah, this summer I'm kind of low on weddings. Like last summer I went to a bunch of weddings. First kind of group of my guys got married, and this summer like none, and I don't really see like anybody really knocking on that door. It's kind of strange. So I don't know. People are getting married later, doing everything later. Married, kids.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like the whole career. Well, career's a big thing. Like, you start the career, keep that going, and then.
And my group was tough for coming out of college. Economy was really bad.
Yeah.
Jobs were bad. I think it's just kind of a later start in that regard for a lot of people. I remember, there was a lot of almost everybody my age did like. I did like 6 months. Not quite 6. I did a few months though, coming home and just you get on your feet after college. What am I going to do? And then you stay with the parents for a few months. And a lot of people just have had to do that for longer periods of time, which is, it's tough. But the jobs aren't there. It's better now, at least. But when I came out, it was ugly.
Was that right after the recession?
Yeah,
in the middle of it, actually.
Yeah, it was probably right in the middle of it. I mean, so I was 2009, so
yeah,
it was
not a good.
Probably I think the year before me had it really bad, and then but I got lucky. I always say my internship saved me. I did a college intern. I interned at WBZ in Boston when I was a junior in college, and it's funny how that sticks with people when you do those things, and if you make an impression or whatever, hope maybe you can make a negative impression too, which isn't good.
Yep.
But I remember thinking to myself, I wanted to have a job by when school would have started in September, and they called me after interviewing during the summer, and I was hired there that September, so that was good. And then I was able to leave mom and dad, but not everybody's that lucky. I mean, lucky that I interned, lucky that they remembered me, and all that stuff. So
it worked out though.
It did. What are you doing?
Well, I'm here.
In 60 seconds or less.
So I'm here. I still live at home, but it's also my fault because I haven't looked for a job.
Not looking too hard? Don't rush out of there. You get the free meals. You're not paying any bills. Yeah. Hopefully you like mom and dad. That's even better.
They're great. Love the family. But,
well, there you go. You should never move. Tell dad you're staying there till 30.
Nope.
Yeah, but no, it's a good way to do it. that is actually the show. I didn't even take a break. We were rolling through like several topics there. That is the Producer of the Year award right there for Tyler Newfell. The again, miscommunication with our guest today. We're going to have the Amesbury Little Leaguers on. Coach and I got off on the different page. Apparently, he thought it was, long story short, he texted me and apologized. He thought it was tomorrow. A little bit of a screw up. No big deal. I'm going to try. I think he told his kids, so we're going to try to get him in Thursday. But we'll see if we can do that. Don't want to disappoint Little Leaguers, so hopefully we can get him on. Tyler Newfell, thank you so much, Ben. That was great. It's kind of nice. I always wanted to do a little producer segment, and we got to do it today, so there you go. Maybe we'll make it part of the show. Last 15 minutes or something. You like it?
Yeah, I liked it.
There you go. All right, Tyler Newfell, great producer, and today a great little radio host with me. So there you go. That's our afternoon drive for today. Sorry for those of you who were expecting the Little Leaguers. Hopefully we'll get them for you Thursday. If not, we'll have somebody else. So my name is Drew Moholland. We'll see you Thursday, 3 p.m., same time, same place. Bye-bye now.
I want a woman to treat me right. Don't want no woman who just wanna fuss it